The Serengeti is a wild paradise, but also a battlefield of life and death. A place where life and death are only a breath apart. Are the rulers always invincible? And what happens when the seemingly weak prey dares to fight back? The fierce Serengeti zebra kicks a lion away in the battle for survival. When the red dawn dyes the endless grasslands, every breath here contains danger. Life and death are only a moment apart, and in the fierce dance of nature, no species is truly safe. Whether ruler or weak prey, all must face constant challenges. Amidst the dense yellow grass, a figure crawls silently. Its golden eyes are like fire, always watching every movement of the herbivores in the distance. That is the lion, the lord of the Serengeti grasslands. Its body is the embodiment of muscular strength. Each step is supple, the tail gently wagging to maintain balance. In adult males, the golden or dark mane spreads out around the head like a halo, both protecting the throat during combat and symbolizing power and attraction to females. Lions are not only predators, they are the only species in the cat family that lives in groups. A family can consist of several dozen individuals, bound together in a strict social order. Females play the role of main hunters, cooperating with each other to bring down large prey. Males, with superior strength, are responsible for protecting the territory and fighting against intruders. Their resounding roars can be heard more than 8 kilometers away, like a declaration of ownership over a large piece of land. In nature, lions are a symbol of balance. They control the number of antelopes, zebras, and buffaloes to ensure that the savanna is not overloaded. But behind that majesty, the lion's life is always challenging. Hunger and thirst can last for days, forcing them to devote all their strength to each hunt. A small mistake means failure, and failure means death is near. On the Serengeti grassland, morning gradually turns to noon. The sun is hotter. The ground radiates a sweltering heat. In the distance, a herd of zebras is busy grazing. The black and white stripes sway like a mirage in the hot air, but to the lion, it is not a beautiful scene, but an invitation. In the shade of the grass, a lioness presses her body close to the ground. Every muscle in her body is tense. Her sharp eyes do not leave the target. Then suddenly, the hunt breaks out. The lion rolls over, trying to get up. The herd of zebras seizes the opportunity, rushing like a whirlwind, escaping the clutches of death. In an instant, the balance of power turned. The predator became the loser, and the seemingly weak prey escaped death, thanks to its hidden strength. On the Serengeti grasslands, even the king sometimes had to taste defeat. After defeat, the lions dispersed, quietly finding shade from dense trees to rest. The Serengeti midday sun shone down on their golden manes, covering their tired bodies with a layer of burning light. The dry wind blew through the grass, leaving only the heavy breathing of the hunters who had just missed their prey. In the dry grass nearby, a sweet scene contrasted with the brutal battle. The mother lion lay down, her legs wrapped around her small cubs. The tiny heads burrowed into their mother's belly, looking for warm milk. They were only a few weeks old. Their eyes were still cloudy. Their gait was unsteady, easily becoming prey for hyenas or eagles if not protected. The mother lion gently holds a cub in her mouth, moving it to a safer location. The image seems gentle, but in fact, it is a harsh survival instinct. Any mistake means death. After failures and hunger, the lion continues its life cycle. Each cub grows up to be a miracle, exchanged for the resilience of the whole pride. Because in the Serengeti, life has never been easy. The Serengeti sun was slowly setting. The golden light was replaced by the darkness creeping down on the grassland. It was at that moment that the opportunists began to rise. From afar came the eerie sound of a hoarse, resounding, and shrill laughter. It was the hyena, a notorious scavenger, but also a formidable predator. Its muscular body was tapered towards the front, but tapered towards the back, making its gait look limp. But it gave it extraordinary endurance. They possessed large, powerful jaws with the strongest bite force among African carnivores, capable of crushing even the thick bones of buffalo or antelope. Its eyes glowed in the grass. Its ears stood erect. And each step was as silent as if carrying the scent of death. The group of hyenas slowly approached. the scent of blood in the air guiding them. In the corner of the grassland, a lioness had just brought down a small antelope, a rare meal after many days of failure. But before they could settle down, wild laughter rang out all around them. The mottled shadows of the hyenas flickered, their circle tightening. The lions roared, trying to protect their spoils, while the opportunists outnumbered them many times over. The air was thick, tense to the point of suffocation. And then, the fight broke out. Its roar echoed, deep and fierce, like a summoning of death. The hyenas hesitated, then dispersed one by one, leaving the battlefield stained with the smell of blood and flesh. In the Serengeti, victory is never complete. A meal won with blood and pain in exchange for another day of life. But it is also this fierce scene that shows the harsh truth of nature here, that life does not belong to the strongest, but to the most resilient. As the Serengeti sun began to set behind the horizon, the sky was dyed a fiery orange. Above, huge black shadows circled. They were vultures. Their wings spread wide, gliding in the hot air, their cold eyes scanning the battlefield. They waited patiently, because they knew that no hunt would end without leaving behind remnants. The vultures landed, their wings flapping vigorously, stirring up dust. Their powerful beaks quickly dug in, tearing at the remaining flesh. The sound of their wings mixed with the creepy sound of bones being torn. But behind that horror was an indispensable role, keeping the steppe from being covered in corpses and disease. The vultures' bodies were proof of special evolution. Their featherless heads and necks kept them from getting blood and bacteria when they dug deep into rotting carcasses. Their curved and strong beaks were strong enough to break hard joints. Their sharp eyes allowed them to detect traces of death from hundreds of meters in the air. Their long, wide wings allow them to circle for hours, and a single blast of hot air is enough to send them soaring without effort. In the red sunset, vultures jostle and fight, turning leftovers into a chaotic feast. Nothing is wasted. The death of one species becomes life for another. And it is they, the despised ones, who are the silent guardians of the fragile balance of the Serengeti. While the mist of the Serengeti lingers on the grasslands, the new morning opens another circle of survival. Far away, in the midst of the sea of yellow grass, a slender figure moves gently past. It is the fastest creature on the planet, the cheetah, walking silently, its slender body clearly visible under the bright sunlight. Its pale yellow fur is dotted with small black spots, blending into the dry grass. Its eyes are rimmed with two black streaks that extend down its cheeks like tears. It is not only a mysterious beauty, but also a tool to help it reduce the glare of the sun, focusing its eyes on prey at a distance. Each step of the cheetah is as light as the wind, but hidden within it is the power of deadly speed. The non-retractable claws, like rivets, firmly grip the ground every time it breaks free. The flexible spine, wide chest, and strong heart allow it to accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in just a few seconds. But speed is a double-edged sword. It can only maintain the chase for less than a minute. If it fails, the cheetah will be exhausted and miss the chance to survive. Unlike lions or hyenas, cheetahs choose solitude. They usually operate alone or sometimes with males in small groups called coalitions, joining forces to increase their chances of taking down prey. Its strategy is not strength or numbers, but opportunism, targeting calves or weak individuals at the edge of the herd. Everything is bet on the single explosive moment of a life-and-death chase. In the distance, a herd of antelopes is leisurely grazing. The cheetah lies pressed against the ground, its entire body tense like a spring, its bright yellow eyes watching the lost antelope. It jumps up. After just a few breaths, its sharp teeth tighten around its throat, and silence falls over the grassland again. The cheetah stands panting, its body burning from the sprint. It bent down to devour each piece of meat, because time was not on its side. The smell of blood would soon attract hyenas, vultures, or even lions. For the cheetah, victory comes in a moment, but fragility always lurks behind every meal. But on the Serengeti, It is not only speed that determines survival. The rainy season passed. The Serengeti gradually dried up. In the distance, the ground cracked. The grass turned yellow. Herds of wildebeest began their endless journey of the Great Migration. Hundreds of thousands of individuals moved like black clouds rolling across the grasslands, the sound of their hooves pounding the ground. They were driven by instinct and hunger, seeking greener pastures on the other side of the Mara River. But the river was not just a journey, but a pass of life and death. Hidden under the murky water were giant shadows, the Nile crocodiles. This is the largest reptile in Africa, which can grow to over 5 meters long and weigh nearly a ton. Their entire bodies are covered in ancient armor, thick, rough, rugged scales, as hard as steel, both for protection and perfect camouflage in the water. The crocodile's giant jaw is one of the most fearsome weapons on the planet. Dozens of sharp teeth grow in neat rows, with a bite force many times stronger than that of a lion, enough to crush the thick bones of buffalo or deer. Once those steel teeth close, no prey can escape. They do not bite to tear flesh, but to hold on tightly, then perform a death roll and sink the victim into the water. The crocodile's cold yellow eyes float on the water, motionless as logs. Patiently, silently, they lie in wait like ancient ghosts, and when the moment comes, all their strength is put into a sudden attack. The herd of wildebeests rushes down to the riverbank. The neighing and screaming of panic filled the sky as they jumped into the swirling water. The water splashed white. The river surface shook as thousands of bodies swam by. And that was when the jaws of death closed. Then, boom, the giant crocodile rushed up from the bottom of the water. The water was dyed red with blood. Around, more crocodiles rushed in, creating a deadly whirlwind. But not all fell. Most of the herd still crossed the river, water flowing down their trembling bodies. They continued their journey to the promised land, where the green grass awaited. The death of a few individuals was the price for thousands of lives to continue to exist. Serengeti is a wild paradise, where life and death always go hand in hand. Here, no strong person is immortal, nor is any weak person completely hopeless. Strength, speed, intelligence, or solidarity are all just weapons to fight against the harsh challenges of nature. And it is in that fragility that the ecological circle is maintained, so that the grassland continues to resound with the eternal music of life. Do you find the zebra's kicks so majestic and exciting? Leave a comment below the video about your feelings. And hit the bell. Subscribe to continue to explore the dramatic counterattacks in our wildlife world.
Will the arrogance of the apex predator become its own death sentence when confronted with a lightning-fast counterattack from a predator with no way out? A small mistake from the complacency of the dominant predator can turn the hunt into an unimaginable tragedy, where hooves swing to break the claws of fate. The Serengeti epic, the zebra warrior, and the life-or-death counterattack. The jungle and steppe have no place for mercy, where every step is a life-or-death gamble, and the natural order dictates that the strong are the hunter and the weak are the prey. However, behind the stillness of the acacia trees and the withered golden meadows, a reversal of fortune is silently taking shape. In the cramped space of thorny bushes and rocky ravines, the ambient sounds are amplified to an overwhelming degree, the rustling of leaves underfoot, the whistling of wind through ancient crevices, all creating a dramatic symphony for a hunt about to begin. In the heart of the sun-drenched Serengeti steppe, a place that worships solitude and absolute power, a male zebra finds itself in peril. Due to a terrible dust storm, it has become separated from its herd and inadvertently wandered into the core territory of a pride of lionesses. In contrast to the prey's solitude is Mara, the alpha lioness whose claws have stained hundreds of targets. Mara is not in a hurry. She reigns supreme as a master of reconnaissance, observing her opponent from the shadows of the bushes with ruthless patience. With no rocky ravines or bushes to hide in, the zebra is forced to exhaust its strength in a pure race against time. The sound of hooves pounding on the dry, cracked ground was relentless, kicking up clouds of dust with each desperate leap. Mara and the lionesses were in no hurry. They used their numerical advantage to form an arc, slowly closing the encirclement, cornering their prey in a patch of tall grass, where they had positioned their assassins in ambush. Complacency is the grave for even the most skilled assassins, for when they become accustomed to the taste of victory, they inadvertently reveal deadly vulnerabilities while encircling their target. Mara saw the zebra begin to stagger from exhaustion, its breathing ragged and its speed noticeably decreasing. Thinking the meal was within her grasp, the lead lioness relaxed her guard. She no longer maintained a cautious approach, but leisurely moved closer, displaying her sharp fangs as if to savor the prey's trembling before launching her decisive leap. However, the laws of nature were completely broken when the cornered creature began to operate a frenzied survival instinct. The zebra suddenly stopped in the open field, turning to face the waiting muzzles of the flesh. It no longer fled. Every muscle in its hind legs tensed like a steel spring, waiting for its enemy to enter its only line of defense. The silence of the hunt was suddenly shattered when Mara approached too close to display its power, entering the final line of defense, completely forgetting to protect its head. A spectacular turn overturned all expectations. The zebra took a running start from the hard ground, unleashing a thunderous kick with all its remaining strength, aimed directly at Mara's lower jaw. The sound of bones breaking echoed dryly in the vast space. Just a small misjudgment of its opponent had left the killing machine stunned and shocked. Mara was thrown backward, her jaw shattered, rendering her unable to finish off her prey. In that moment of chaos, the lions behind her froze in horror, creating a single gap in the savanna. The zebra seized the opportunity, charging forward like a flash of zebra stripes, leaving behind its enemy writhing in pain and humiliation. The moment those hooves swung up was not just for fighting, but to assert its right to live in the face of cruel fate. Are you moved by the resilience of a creature often considered weak, as it ignites hope for itself in the midst of a deadly savanna? As the last rays of sunlight faded behind the horizon, the savanna once again returned to its inherent tranquility. An eternal truth: any creature, no matter how small, when pushed to the brink of fear, can transform into the greatest warrior to protect its own flame of life. After the fateful kick that tore through its destiny, the zebra did not stop to enjoy its victory. Instinct told it that the savanna is never completely safe. It began its solitary journey back to its kind, a race where every centimeter of its body was a masterpiece of evolution. Few know that, behind its seemingly simple appearance, the zebra possesses an incredibly special musculoskeletal system. Its hind legs, the weapon that just brought down the lion, are composed of strong thigh muscles and a system of ligaments with maximum elasticity, allowing it to deliver kicks with a force of up to thousands of newtons. In the scorching sun of the savanna, its distinctive striped coat begins to perform its miraculous function. The black and white stripes aren't just for camouflage. They create different microclimates on the skin's surface, helping regulate the animal's body temperature during high-intensity exercise. Furthermore, these stripes create a visual illusion, blinding predators and making it difficult for them to accurately pinpoint their target as it moves. The zebra wasn't running aimlessly. It was heading towards the great river, the lifeblood of the entire savanna. It knew that at this time of year, the will to survive would lead thousands of its kind to gather here for the Great Migration. After hours of exhausting travel, with scars still bleeding, the roar of the raging water gradually emerged. In the vast expanse, the zebra stood alone on the riverbank. It stood there, silent and patient, its ears perked up, constantly shifting to catch signals from afar. And then, from the horizon, a hazy cloud of dust appeared, accompanied by the deep, resounding sound of tens of thousands of hooves pounding on the ground. Its herd had arrived. The bleating calls, the familiar nose touches after a fateful separation. Without elaborate greetings, the warrior zebra silently merges into the striped current, where its solitary self is enveloped by the invisible yet steadfast solidarity of thousands of individuals. But before the reunion could bring peace, the greatest challenge looms, crossing the Mara River. This is considered the most brutal ending of the migration journey. Beneath the murky water lie giant crocodiles, living logs that have waited a year for this moment. The rushing water mixes with the strained, breathless gasps. Our zebra, having just survived a life-or-death battle with a lion, now plunges into the raging current again. This is when the community instinct shines brightest. Zebras are inherently a species with extremely tight family organization. They didn't cross the river alone, but formed a united group. The strong ones would surround and protect the young and weaker individuals. Underwater, the battle began. The crocodile's deadly bites tore through the air, but the zebra didn't panic. With agility and explosive strength, it used its forelegs to propel itself through the water, battling the river's current while dodging the ferocious teeth. Each swim was a gamble with death. When its hooves touched the mud on the opposite bank, the zebra shook off the water droplets from its spotted coat. It stood on the slope, looking back at the raging river behind it. It had overcome the lion, overcome its loneliness, and conquered the deadly river. Nature doesn't create weaklings. It only creates challenges to forge the greatest individuals. The migration continued. Tens of thousands of footprints imprinted on new land. That zebra, with its iconic scars, is now not just a survivor, but a living testament to the unquenchable flame of life in the wild. If this story of courage has touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share to join us in celebrating the extraordinary feats of the wild. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you on our next journeys of life and death.
Serengeti, the endless land, where the red dawn covers the sea of burnt yellow grass. In a place where every step on the grassland can lead to death, will the weak have enough strength to escape the clutches of the fastest predator on the planet? Serengeti cruelty. The death battle of zebras against cheetahs. The sun slowly rises above the horizon. Light spreading across the endless sea of yellow grass. The dry wind whistles, stirring up layers of fine dust, making the whole space seem to be immersed in a brilliant but suffocating yellow mist. In the distance, herds of antelope, buffalo, and zebra move like tiny black spots, dotting the vast picture of the savanna. In the waist-high yellow grass, a slender figure moves slightly. It is the cheetah, the fastest hunter on the planet. Its body is long and lean, like a speed machine. Its golden fur is dotted with black dots that cast countless shadows on the ground, helping it blend into the sun-baked Serengeti grasslands. Its long, graceful legs, its feet with semi-permanent claws, unlike other cats, allow it to grip the ground while accelerating. Its long tail acts as a rudder, keeping it perfectly balanced as it changes direction at terrifying speeds. As it moves, each muscle bulges under its taut skin, exuding hidden power. Its entire body is like an arrow arrow, waiting to be shot from the bowstring. Its golden eyes are like two sharp blades, fixed on the herd of zebras moving in the distance. In silence, the cheetah crouches close to the grass. A burst, lasting less than a minute, will decide between life and death. And then, the hunt explodes. The powerful kicks were continuously thrown, causing the cheetah to stagger. Exhausted from the crazy acceleration, it was forced to retreat. The bright yellow eyes still watched with regret, before it disappeared into the tall grass, carrying with it an unsatisfied hunger. On the Serengeti, sometimes life is decided not only by speed, but by the strong will to survive until the last minute. Dawn was red again on the Serengeti grassland. The hazy morning mist covered the sea of burnt yellow grass. The gentle wind carried away the lingering smell of death from last night. In the midst of that quiet scene, the cheetah's silhouette appeared from the tall grass. The yellow eyes still burned with hunger, but its body was emaciated after consecutive days of failure. Hunger urged it to continue trying its luck. But this time, it was not alone. There were not just one, but three yellow figures crouching in the grass. They were female cheetahs, sisters of the same herd, renowned for their extraordinary coordination. Each held a position, their tense gaze locked on the herd of wildebeests busily grazing. Each step was as light as a breath. Their entire bodies pressed close to the ground, their hearts beating rapidly but controlled. Waiting for the signal, suddenly, they charged out in unison. In a few seconds, the chase was over. The hunters were panting. But their eyes shone with success. Before them, the young wildebeest stood motionless, a rare trophy, result of perfect coordination. On the Serengeti, only by collective strength could cheetahs take down prey many times their own size. On the Serengeti, cheetahs were the embodiment of absolute speed. They can break through over 100 kilometers, but the price to pay is a fragile body. Weak in the fight. Even when they take down prey, they still face the risk of losing everything to hyenas or lions. The lifespan of a cheetah in the wild rarely exceeds 10 years. Many cubs die before they have time to grow up, due to the harshness of nature and other predators. But in that cruel cycle of survival, they still fight relentlessly to keep themselves and their cubs alive. Cheetahs, the fastest hunters on the planet, are just a small link in the giant ecological cycle of the Serengeti. In a place where every breath must be exchanged for blood, their existence is a testament to their fragile but resilient strength. And when the red sun rises again over the savanna, the next hunt will begin. In another corner of the Serengeti savanna, the scene takes on a completely different hue. The ground is dry and cracked under the harsh sun, and low thorny bushes sporadically stretch out in the hot wind. In the distance, a herd of wild elephants moves slowly, their giant black shadows standing out against the yellow grasslands. The African elephant is the largest land animal on the planet, and they are the great symbol of the Serengeti. An adult male can be up to 3.5 meters tall, weigh more than 6 tons, with a huge body covered with thick, rough gray skin and wide fan-like ears flapping in the hot wind to dissipate heat. The long, curved tusks are both a defensive weapon and used to dig the ground for water and food, while the trunk with more than 40,000 muscle bundles becomes a multi-purpose tool, pulling grass, breaking branches, sucking water, or caressing young. Each day, an adult elephant can consume up to 200 kilograms of plants, and they move in matriarchal herds, led by the oldest female elephant. Elephants are also famous for their extraordinary memory, being able to remember the way to water sources after many years of drought, and communicating with low-frequency sounds that can be heard dozens of kilometers away. Although gentle, elephants still have a strong survival instinct. When threatened, the whole herd immediately gathers to protect the young, and their gores or stomps are powerful enough to crush any enemy. Female elephants are pregnant for up to 22 months, the longest period in the world of terrestrial mammals, and usually give birth to a calf weighing about 100 kg, which is cared for by the whole herd. In the wild, adult elephants have almost no opponents, except for lions or hyenas that sometimes attack young elephants. African elephants, giants of the Serengeti, are not only the greatest creatures on land, but also the soul of the savanna. They open paths through dense forests, create paths for all species, dig the ground to find water sources to help the entire ecosystem survive in the dry season. In the midst of a Serengeti full of blood and struggle, the appearance of the elephant herd brings a moment of majestic peace, showing that this place is not only an arena of life and death, but also a roof that nurtures the lives of all species. As the sun gradually sets in the west, the orange-yellow light covers the Serengeti grassland. The whole land seems to calm down. In that dusty space, another figure slowly appears. It is a tank of the grassland. Heavy but majestic, its steps seem to shake the dry, cracked ground, a creature with the pristine beauty of Africa. A symbol of strength and steadfastness. The rhino. The African rhino, a giant with a heavy body but hidden in a fierce power. An adult can weigh up to 2 tons. Its body is as solid as an armored fortress. The curved horn, more than a meter long on its forehead, is a powerful weapon, enough to defeat any enemy that dares to approach. Although usually solitary and docile when threatened, rhinos can transform into a giant storm, charging at speeds of more than 50 km/h. A single charge can crush even a predator. Keen sense of smell helps it sniff out scents from afar, but its poor eyesight makes it prone to panic and becomes suddenly aggressive. In the fiery evening sky of the Serengeti, a female rhino is leading her calf in search of water. tails kept wagging, the large head bowed low. Each heavy step dug into the dry, cracked ground. But hidden in the thick grass not far away, another danger was silently watching. It was a pride of lions, proud predators, waiting for an opportunity. They did not dare to confront the giant directly, but their bright yellow eyes were locked on the more vulnerable target, the weak young rhino, still clumsy in every step. The atmosphere was thick with tension. Then, boom, the fight broke out. Finally, after minutes of tense struggle, the pride of lions gradually became tired. The prey was too big, too dangerous to trade for life. The mother rhino still stood tall in the misty dust, her deep black eyes shining with determination. The red dust gradually cleared. The pride of lions left in defeat, leaving a heavy silence in the sunburned grassland. The mother rhino and her calf continued to walk, their huge shadows cast on the cracked ground. Victory over the predators was just a moment in the fierce cycle of survival in the Serengeti. But here, danger never stopped. As the sun gradually sank below the horizon, other sounds rang out in the wind, signaling a new challenge. The next dawn, the first sunlight covered the Serengeti grasslands, revealing a different tense scene. No longer lurking lions. This time, the challengers were their own kind. Two adult male rhinos, each weighing more than 2 tons, stood facing each other in the open ground. black eyes flashed with hostility, their breaths steaming under the blazing sun. They did not roar like lions, nor stalk like cheetahs, but the silence contained a storm about to explode. Suddenly, both of them charged. Serengeti, a fiery land where life and death always go hand in hand. All weave a never-ending epic of survival. Every creature, whether small or giant, has an irreplaceable role. In your opinion, what helps animals survive longer on the savanna? Speed, strength, or solidarity? Leave a comment below the video. And don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss the next wildlife survival series.